to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. As news is broken a couple hours ago, and I want to thank a lot of my subscribers for pointing me to it on Twitter and YouTube, that the New York Giants will be video interviewing Cesar Ruiz. Ruiz grew up in the New Jersey area, actually Camden, New Jersey. I don't know if he grew up as a Jet or Giant fan, but both teams reportedly have interest in the prospect. Ruiz really stood out at the NFL Draft Combine and projects to be, if not the best center in this year's draft, amongst one of the top two or three. But after the Combine, most people clearly had him as the top-rated center. Now, of course, last night I had Bad Dog on. Bad Dog actually made a video on this today, and I think it's becoming more and more increasingly likely that the New York Giants will look to take a center in the second round. The New York Giants, of course, have a huge hole right now at that position. John Halapio has left the roster, and Cesar Ruiz could make a lot of sense. We'll get into, some of his strengths, some of his weaknesses, how he performed at the Combine, and his height and weight. He stands at 6'3", 307 pounds, at least at the Combine. During his playing days, he was listed at 6'4", 319, but he's right in that area, and I think could be a slam dunk prospect for the Giants at 36 if he were to fall there. Another possibility would be the Giants potentially trading up. I've seen him being mocked in the back end of the first round. But let's jump into some of the notes about Ruiz and how he could potentially fill what the New York Giants are looking for. Of course, the Giants could double up on the offensive line as well. A lot of people are starting to have them take Isaiah Simmons. Regardless, if they go tackle or middle linebacker at number 4 or look to trade down, Ruiz could be on their radar, as center is a gigantic hole. Here's the first tweet by Jordan Reed. Cesar Ruiz, one of the top interior offensive linemen in this draft class, is receiving a ton of interest. He's already met with 20 teams that include the Dolphins and Bears. He also has FaceTime meetings with the Giants and Jets in the coming days, per source. So there you have it. There was the tweet that came out about Ruiz today. And then I want to go over some of his Combine numbers and some of his strengths and some of his weaknesses. He had a really good Combine. He stood out by all accounts. He ran a 5.08 40, 28 on the bench, 33 on the vert, 113 on the broad jump, 7.91 on the three-cone drill, and 4.64 on the 20-yard shuttle. The other thing I wanted to point out about Ruiz is he has a really interesting backstory. Very rough upbringing. Camden, New Jersey, of course. One of the more dangerous places to grow up. His father passed away when he was just 8 years old, and I think he lost it was either his best friend or his brother while he was in high school, which forced him to move out of Camden, New Jersey, where he went on to play high school football in Florida before getting recruited by Michigan. He's known to be a great locker room guy and a guy that's full of energy. Next thing we're going to pull up is his best trait and his worst trait. His best trait is his power, mobility, and versatility. His worst trait, timing and pass protection. The notes go on to say Cesar Ruiz enters the NFL draft starting 31 games for Michigan, 26 of them coming at center and 5 at the right guard. A blend of size, power, mobility, and technique. Ruiz projects favorably to any interior spot along the offensive line at the next level. For such a massive man, Ruiz displays outstanding mobility, and he is highly effective working laterally and in space. His versatility extends beyond just the ability to play any spot along the interior. He also has the attributes needed to thrive in both gap and zone blocking run schemes. Ruiz does have some room to grow with some timing elements in pass protection, and he could benefit from dropping some bad weight on his frame. Ruiz projects as an early impact starter in the NFL with the upside to become the pillar of an NFL offensive line for years to come. And if that doesn't ring true to the ears of New York Giants fans, I don't know what will. The center position last year was a gigantic hole for the New York Giants. Halapio was pretty decent the year before he got hurt. I think he only played 2 or 3 games, but last year was our worst graded offensive lineman, and it was, clearly obvious the entire year. He was constantly giving up pressure up the middle. Ruiz would be a very welcomed addition to the New York Giants if we're able to get our hands on him in the second round. Now, he may not be there. Like I said, he really stood out at the Combine. This guy's always been projected to be a very good prospect, even going back to high school at the interior offensive line position, whether it's the guard or the center. Like the article said, he played 26 of his 31 starts at that position, and he projects to be a center at the NFL. Now, if the Giants decide to go center and Ruiz is not on the board, you still have guys like Lloyd Cushenberry and Tyler Biadasz of Wisconsin. And I think all three could potentially be on the Giants' radar with that pick, being that they may not want to wait until pick 99. If you wait till 99, maybe you get lucky and a guy like Matt Hennessy drops there, but those three individuals more than likely will be gone. Ruiz could very well be gone before pick number 36. As it said in the tweet, 20 teams have already interviewed this guy, so he's definitely drawing some interest, but he's a guy to keep on your radar for the New York Giants. It's very rare that a center goes earlier than the back end of the first round. Last year, I think the Vikings took the first center around pick 22 or 25, whatever it was. We'll see if Ruiz could fall to the Giants' lap at 36. Of course, a lot of people thought Will Hernandez would never have fallen to where he did back in 2018. Cesar Ruiz would be a very welcomed addition, though, to the New York Giants. And maybe you double up on the offensive line if you take a tackle in the first. That would be, you would really not have to worry about the O-line in terms of the draft for, quite some time. But like I said, regardless, even if you go Simmons, Ruiz should be on the Giants' radar. And I think the Giants right now are leaning towards center in the second round. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.